All right, boys and girls, we're here at the Bonzo Bash. What number is this?
Well, I don't know. This is my 4th, and I know I didn't do a couple, so it's got to be at least 5 or 6 at this point.
A tribute to perhaps, arguably, the greatest...
What do you mean, arguably?
Yeah, the greatest drummer in rock and roll. Come on.
All right, arguably. One of them, because I hold Keith Moon with a lot of
Keith Moon
as well.
Good
Neil
answer.
Peart. My top 3 are Bonzo, Keith Moon, and Neil Peart.
Not a bad trio. Not bad at all. Yeah, you've obviously, learned from the best.
We all have. All of us here. Yeah.
And what a group we had here tonight. And we only got to talk to a few people. We got to see Ricky Rock and AJ Pero and people like that, and Charlie Benante, good friends of ours. But we've never had this man on the show before.
Better late than never, right?
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
That's right. And it's great that you're doing this. Not only does he organize this thing.
No. I had nothing to do with the organization. That's all Brian Tichy.
It's all Brian Tichy.
I am not. Well, we'll take a stitch of credit for it. I'm just a drummer, and tonight I happen to be co-hosting and just help move it along. But it's all Brian, actually. No, it's really. I'm not being modest. It's really Brian. So
no, Brian. We know Brian is also a brainchild. But
not also.
nonetheless,
he doesn't believe me.
Nonetheless. One of the things that I really appreciated you did was Eddie Trunk's 30th anniversary. Now, how much fun?
Well, that one I'll take the credit for.
Yeah,
that was fun. That was awesome, and it was an amazing night. Eddie's one of my best friends, and it was an honor, first of all, for him to ask the Winery Dogs to play, but then for him to appoint me musical director. I was able to just call in all the fellow musicians, and it just took the party up a whole notch, and some of the jams that night were just incredible.
Insane.
I got to play with Ace Frehley and Peter
How
Criss.
Great! Yes.
That was, that to me was one of the coolest things in my career.
Yeah,
so
definitely has to be a highlight, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, those guys are rock gods, and they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now. So you get to play with the Rock and Roll Hall of Famers.
Are they actually? I know they're going in, but I keep hearing people say they're in. Don't they have to wait for the inauguration first? But everybody's saying they're in. Like, well, if the world tours explode tomorrow,
they wouldn't.
They'll never have made it, and Eddie Trunk will actually
explode himself.
Freak out because they still won't be in. You don't count your chickens till they hatch.
No, it's true. We got to wait till it's April 10th or something, right? Yeah, I'm counting the minutes. Trust me. And they better play.
I would hope so.
Come on, they have to play. All right, so let's talk about everything you're doing right now. Winery Dogs. That's a kind of a cool lineup, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. How cool is it to be able to play with people like that?
Well, Billy Sheehan and Richie Kotzen are two of the greatest of their respective instruments and talents, and to play with those guys, I have a tremendous amount of respect for them.
And Billy Sheehan is a sweet fellow.
Oh, Billy's awesome. I mean, I've known Billy. Well, first of all, I've been a fan of Billy's for 30 years. I used to go see Tallis when I was a kid.
Nice.
Yeah, but we've been friends now for almost 20 years now, and working together on various projects. But it's nice to actually be in a real full-time band with him. And Richie is. He's just like such an amazing undiscovered talent. I mean, he's not undiscovered, but he's underrated. So, it's nice to see him finally getting the credit that he deserves.
And Eddie Trunk had a little bit of a hand,
Yeah, well, Eddie was the one that suggested Richie to Billy and myself, so yeah. And
so initially, what was your thought? Like, is this guy going to work, or were you receptive to it, or was it kind of feeling it out and see how
Well, I mean, I have a lot of experience in working with different bands and projects and lineups and musicians, so I know how to kind of work with different personalities and, bend and,
twist in the wind.
Yeah, I know, how to adapt to different situations. But as soon as me, Billy, and Richie started working together, the chemistry was immediately apparent. We wrote all the music on the album, like, super quickly, super easily, and we all got along great, they're easy guys to get along with, so yeah, it was.
What's not great?
We knew right off the bat it was going to work.
Nice, and I mean, of course, this guy has a resume that's pretty outstanding. Dream Theater and Adrenaline Mob, who's now AJ is filling that slot. That's kind of cool though, to have a AJ Pero come in and be the guy to take your spot and hold up his. I mean, the guy, he's a legend himself.
Yeah, I remember sitting.
What was your first Twisted show?
Well, I was a Twisted Sister fan before We're Not Gonna Take It.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I grew up on Long Island, so I grew up like when with them playing like Speaks, Long Beach. So they used to play Speaks in Island Park. And so I used to go see, you know, when I was a kid, they were like the legendary club band, and I had live tapes of them, like from broadcasts on, you know, the radio stations, and stuff like that.
BAB.
And they were the best live band, but then they broke, and then even when, you know, when they blew up in the mainstream, I was still a fan. I sat first row when they played Nassau Coliseum in '84, I think, or so. 30 years ago. And they received their gold records that night. First day.
Nice. How cool is that?
So anyway, but I've become friends with AJ through the years. So you know, if there's any man that is right for the mob, he's a perfect fit for them.
Yeah, and he's a swell guy too.
Yeah,
you know, can't argue with that. So a legendary drummer who's also a wonderful gentleman.
Oh, thank you.
As are you, sir.
Oh, yes. I thought you were talking about.
Yes, I am talking about you.
Well, thank you.
In the here and now, a modern day, you know, drum messiah right there.
Thank you, man.
So where can people go to find out more about what you're up to?
They can go to AJ Piro's site and no, MikePortnoy.com. Twitter is at Mike Portnoy. Facebook is Mike Portnoy Official or something like that. I don't know.
Something like
I'm
that.
all over the net. Believe me,
Right.
I'm a social media hound. So you can't surf the
miss
net
this
without
guy.
stumbling onto one of my pages.
You know, I have to say, you know, for myself, I watched all of that footage from that night at Eddie Trunk's party. You're intimately involved with every minute of that, and whether playing or orchestrating, and it was a fantastic job as a tribute to.
It was a blast for me, man. It was an honor.
Absolutely. So check them out, Winery Dogs.
Thank you, man.